After Monza, Red Bull has fired back. Max Verstappen managed to secure a dominant win, which served as a reminder of their pace and perhaps a turning point in their season. But with Christian Horner gone, Laurent Mekies taking over, a power unit gamble with Ford, and a driver lineup in flux, the real question isn't about one race, it's about the team's future. What comes next for Formula One's most polarising team, and can they stay on top in the years ahead? At Monza, Red Bull returned to winning ways. Max Verstappen stormed to victory by nearly 19 seconds, delivering the team's first win since Christian Horner's departure. But to say it's been turbulent at the team over the last 18 months would be an understatement. On top of Horner's exit, the team also lost some key personnel. These include star Chief Technical Director Adrian Newey, who's moved on to Aston Martin, Chief Designer Rob Marshall, who's helped in McLaren's stunning return to the top, and former Sporting Director Jonathan Wheatley, who is now heading up the Sauber outfit, soon to become Audi next year. The man now in charge, Laurent Mekies, was quick to downplay his role in the result at Monza, stressing instead that it was the engineers, aerodynamicists, mechanics, and of course Max who deserved the credit. But Monza revealed more than Mekies' humility. With a more efficient rear-wing package and better balance through the high-speed corners, the RB21 looked transformed. Mekies admitted the car had entered a better window than previous rounds, and the performance spoke for itself. The result wasn't just a win, it was a statement. Red Bull's season isn't over, and their rivals have been put on notice. But there are plenty of questions as to whether Red Bull can sustain the level of success they have seen in the past as they head into a post-Christian Horner era. It is still extremely early in Laurent Mekies' tenure, but already there are clear contrasts between his leadership style and that of Christian Horner. Horner was known for his outspoken presence, often dominating headlines and positioning himself as the political spearhead of Red Bull. Mekies, by contrast, has adopted a quieter, more collaborative tone, preferring to shift credit to the wider team rather than himself. His reputation within the paddock reflects this approach. At Ferrari, he was respected for his operational discipline and attention to detail, while at Racing Bulls, he earned praise for steady management in difficult circumstances. While it remains to be seen how this translates at Red Bull's flagship outfit, Mekies' style suggests a less combative, more technically focused leadership, one that may reshape the team's culture over time. Beyond this season, Red Bull faces its boldest gamble yet. From 2026, they will become a fully fledged engine supplier, operating under the Red Bull Powertrains banner, partnering with the automotive giant Ford. This marks the end of a 6-year partnership with Honda, which saw Red Bull win 4 consecutive Drivers' Championships and 2 Constructors' titles. Initially, this had been seen as more of a badging deal, but Ford's involvement has deepened in recent months. Initially focused on battery cells, electric motors and data analytics, the American giant is now contributing across almost every aspect of the project. It's a sign of serious intent, but engine building is notoriously complex, and Honda's exit left big shoes to fill. If Red Bull and Ford succeed, they will secure independence and perhaps a decisive competitive edge, but if the project stumbles, the risk is immense. Reliability failures or performance shortfalls could leave them vulnerable, even with Verstappen at the wheel. For Red Bull, the future of the team's success rests as much, if not more, on their car development as it does on the racetrack. Equally uncertain is the question of drivers. Red Bull has never been afraid of controversial driver decisions, and this season has been no exception. Yuki Tsunoda was promoted to the senior team mid-season, replacing Liam Lawson after just 2 races. For Tsunoda, it was the biggest opportunity of his career. For Red Bull, it was another experiment in the search for Verstappen's long-term teammate. The results, however, have been mixed. Tsunoda has often lacked speed in comparison to Max, and consistency has eluded him. This can be illustrated by both the points difference between the two drivers and the qualifying head-to-head. And Max's Monza win further added to Yuki's woes as he finished outside the points. Former AlphaTauri team boss Franz Tost, who headed up the team during Tsunoda's first years in F1, has gone as far as to question his work ethic, suggesting talent alone won't be enough. Lawson, meanwhile, is still highly rated in the Red Bull family, but his path back to the senior team looks increasingly narrow. The shuffle illustrates Red Bull's ruthlessness yet again. Few seats in Formula 1 carry more pressure, and even fewer are more unforgiving of mistakes. At the centre of it all is of course Max Verstappen. The Dutchman remains Red Bull's crown jewel. His multiple championship wins and sheer dominance in years past has defined this era of the sport. As of right now, there are no serious signs that Verstappen is preparing to leave. He continues to deliver and the team continues to build around him. But speculation lingers. Should Red Bull's engine gamble falter in 26, Verstappen could face a difficult choice. Other top teams would surely make space for a driver of his calibre. For now though, Red Bull's resurgence at Monza provides stability. Verstappen is locked in, focused on adding more titles, and the team knows that keeping him happy is a non-negotiable. The fact that so many drivers have struggled in that second seat has meant that Red Bull has been very reliant on Max, and Max alone, to deliver results. This approach is simply not sustainable, as it continues to affect their position in the Constructors' Championship. And while Max's position at the team is locked in for now, many have suggested that Verstappen will use 26 to assess the team's position before making a decision about his own future on the grid. So who is most likely to partner Max in 26? The frontrunner appears to be Isaac Hadjar. The young Frenchman has been one of the revelations of the season. Despite a disastrous first round in Melbourne after crashing out on the formation lap, Hadjar has bounced back, showing a remarkable mix of speed and composure, both of which allowed him to secure his first podium at Zandvoort. Hadjar has suggested that the 2026 regulations, with radically new cars and engines, could make stepping into the senior Red Bull seat easier than in past years. A clean slate suits a relatively new driver, and Hadjar has momentum on his side. While it's unlikely that Tsunoda won't make it to the end of the season with the team, unless his performances improve, his place looks increasingly vulnerable for next year. For him, the rest of the year is a test of consistency, discipline and growth. Failure to deliver may push him back into racing Bulls, or out of the Red Bull system altogether. And then there's Lawson. Once hailed as a long-term Red Bull driver, Lawson now risks being left behind. Though still admired within the programme, his demotion this season suggests that he will need something spectacular to force his way back into contention. Red Bull's second seat has always been volatile, but in 2026 with new cars, new engines and new opportunities, that volatility could shape the balance of power within the team, and perhaps the championship itself. Monza showed that Red Bull can still dominate with Max behind the wheel, even in a period of upheaval. Under Laurent Mekies, the team is steadying itself. With Ford, it is preparing for the most ambitious project in its history, and with Verstappen, it retains the driver who's defined its success. But the future is far from secure. The second seat remains unsettled with Hadjar rising, Tsunoda under pressure, and Lawson waiting in the wings. At the same time, the new engine project looms as both an opportunity and a risk. The question now is whether Red Bull can translate a single victory into lasting strength. The 2026 regulations will bring a change on every level. For Red Bull, the outcome will decide whether Monza was the start of another new era of success, or just the calm before another storm.